Yo, yo, what it do? It's the Fly Roadside guy checking in one time for the one. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you new. So, in the trucking business and primarily in the dump truck business, but I'm gonna just say in the trucking business as a whole, yo. One thing that can do me for real is that trucking insurance. And I can only really speak on what I had to deal with as far as my dump truck situation. Also the fact that when I first got my insurance, right, for my truck about 4 years ago, I had a pretty decent rate. It was like $14,000 a year, right? But for some reason, my agent had called me back like 2 weeks afterwards and kind of was telling me that Progressive had looked into my company and realized that it was a trucking company, which, you know, I had trucking in my name, so it should be a trucking company, right? So needless to say, God damn, what the hell? Needless to say, right, Progressive came back and they knocked my shit down from like 14,000 to like, shit might have been like 35. It was crazy, like maybe $35,000, $40,000. This is my first year being in business for myself as an owner operator, right? And when I spoke to my agent at the time, he was like, yeah, man, I had you classified as a landscaping company, but Progressive wound up, you know, I don't know if they searched me by my EIN, regardless of the fact that I still had a trucking company, right? And that's what they figured out. So I say all that to say, like, I was curious, and, you know, other people leave a comment, let me know. Some companies that I see on job sites, they don't always necessarily got a trucking associated with their LLC. And I wonder, does that actually make a difference when you're trying to apply for trucking insurance? Like, if you got a company called Enterprises or Services, or I've seen a lot, like Family, you know what I mean, Brothers, you feel me? Like, when you go to acquire for some trucking insurance or commercial truck insurance, right? When you got a name like trucking in your company name, I feel like, you know what I mean, Progressive and these insurance carriers are gonna, you know, they gotta kind of make sure that they're covering their ass when it comes to insurance. But I feel like I told you, my first agent had me classified as a landscaping company, and, you know, I'm like, well, damn, maybe I should take trucking out my name, or, you know, because you can have a landscaping company and still go outside and purchase yourself a dump truck. You feel me? Like, you can have a moving company, a family company, you can have an enterprise and still go outside and purchase a truck. And that truck that you purchase, you'll just, you know what I mean, have it under your business name, right? And I would assume or think that, you know, if my company's not such and such trucking or whatever the case may be, you can kind of classify yourself under a different NAICS code and maybe get lower truck insurance. But I say all that to say, like, the trucking insurance can kill you. So my first year, it went from 14,000. I had to switch insurance. I got a new carrier, and I think it went up to like 23,000 my first year. And then that agent was telling me, like, after my third year, you know, as long as I don't have no accidents, you know what I mean, my run losses was good, you know, I didn't have any tickets, nothing like that. That after my third year being in business, that it should open up, and, you know, I'll probably get other insurance companies that probably will take a look, and I should probably wind up saving some money after my third year being in business. Well, that wasn't true, because for whatever reason, shit just was high as hell. You feel me? Like, yo, so after I went to go ahead and renew my policy, bro, my agent was like, bro, he said to me, he was like, man, I'ma just keep looking, because Progressive came in at like 40,000, 45,000 again on my fourth year. So he like, man, I'm gonna keep looking around or whatever. So he looked around again. He got me something lower, but that shit was only like 35,000 or some crazy shit. You feel me? So I say all that to say, like, I was about to just say, fuck it, bro. I'm going back in the automotive, yo. Like, I'm not spending $35,000 a year on trucking insurance for one truck. Because, mind you, I had sold my second truck at the time. And I'm thinking, like, damn, my very first year, I was paying $1,800 a month for truck insurance. You feel me? And then I got the second truck, and that truck was newer. So my insurance went up drastically. Like, my shit was like $5,000 for 2 trucks. You know what I'm saying? So after my third year now, I mean, going to my third, fourth year, whatever, my deposit, like I said, when I started to renew, he told me, man, your deposit was like $7,000. I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't doing that. Like I said, I was about to just say, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go back and do something else. I'm not paying $7,000 for a down payment on trucking insurance. Not for one truck, bro. You know what I mean? That shit crazy. So then I told him, I said, yo, lower the value of my truck, bro, because they still had my truck valued at the purchase price, which, you know what I mean, bro, everybody know that whatever the purchase price is, the value depreciates once you drive it off the lot. So I don't even know. I mean, I know why they had it at that price, because if it was to get totaled out, then I guess ultimately I get back that value of the truck, but that truck wasn't valued at the amount that they had it at. So I'm like, yo, lower that shit down, bro. So we lowered the value of my truck, my actual cash value down. And needless to say, it ain't make that much of a difference. And he told me, I mean, that shit went from like a $7,000 down payment to like a $5,000 down payment. And I was still paying like, it was estimated for me to pay like $2,100 a month or some crazy shit. And then he might even got it down a little bit more. I can't remember what happened. We might have did something. But needless to say, bro, my monthly payment was still going to be higher than what I had paid my very first year. It was like $1,900 to $2,200 a month with a $5,000 down payment. I'm like, bro, I ain't doing that shit, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't doing that shit. You know what I mean? And luckily, bro, I was about to settle with him, because that shit came to be like $25,000 for the year. So like I say, it was like $2,000 a month payment, yo, for one fucking truck. I'm like, man, I ain't, you know, the business shit you up and down for all that. So that insurance can doom you, bro. So, bro, I wound up finding another company, man. So far, so good, bro. I mean, the policy even came with roadside, like, towing and shit. And I think it came down to like $880 a month, right, for the one truck. So just imagine how much I saved, because it came in, when he sent me the estimate, that shit was like $11,000 or $12,000 for the year, bro, for one truck. You know what I mean? And that's something feasible, bro, because the way shit going on, bro, ain't no way. So my deposit, when he called me, I ain't gonna lie, yo, when he called me, he was like, yeah, I got your estimate. He was like, I got your down payment, or yeah, your down payment, like $2,000 something. I was like, cool. Then he was like, yo, your monthly payment's gonna be like $880 something. I'm like, God damn. Yo, can you imagine, bro, how I felt, like how I feel, just to have that weight lifted off my shoulders? You know what I mean? So you figure if my truck insurance, I'm gonna just round it up and say $900 a month. Mind you, my first year I was paying $1,800 a month. So if you have researched the dump truck business, you know some of these trucks typically, if you on a job, they can generate, you know, $700, $800, $900 or more a day. You know what I mean? That's considered a good day. So one day worth of work potentially could not take care of your truck insurance. That's what I'm looking to do. But like Biggie Small says, man, more money, more problems, bro. So when I had 2 trucks, yeah, I was making a little bit more money, but it was more problems because I had to pay insurance on both trucks, pay maintenance on both trucks. Both of the trucks didn't even have the same tires all around, so it was I couldn't take a tire from this truck and put it on another truck. It was just a mad thing. But I say all that to say, man, don't get discouraged. You just gotta do your research. It is companies out there that will insure your truck. Take a look in maybe when you are looking to formulate the company or have a company name. Consider other variables like enterprises or family, or I don't know. I would just probably, unless you got a substantial amount of cash flow and you ready to go gun ho and be a show enough trucking company, then yeah, put trucking in your name, yo. I mean, shit, that shit's still in my name. You know what I mean? I don't plan on changing it, but I am planning on doing a DBA. You understand me? I'm DBAing my shit. So that way, it's other contracts out here that, potentially you can get. You can get your MBEs and your certifications, your DBEs and things like that. So, if you don't got trucking in your name and you're going out trying to acquire certain contracts and things of that nature, if the government is giving out contracts and, you're looking to get into the government contract sector, not having trucking in your name could benefit you. But if you are gun-ho a trucking company and primarily are in the trucking lane, then yeah, by all means have trucking in your name. Just expect to pay higher premiums when it comes to your trucking insurance, and understand at the end of the day, if you're not set up properly with funds set aside, and if you're not disciplined enough to be able to manage your spending and just save, especially when the season kind of slows down, that insurance can be a business killer. I promise you, bro. Because I was about to just give it up last year, you know what I mean? So luckily and fortunately enough for me, I was able to find another insurance agent company, and they was able to insure my truck for under $15,000 a year. So, if y'all want some more information, anybody out there looking to get into the dump truck business, the trucking industry, share this video, like this video, comment, and I'll put more information out there. Oh yeah, I got another channel. Here's the Trucking Truth. Not only am I putting the truth out here on this channel, but I'm going to be interviewing, other people. And I want you to hear their truth, you know what I mean? The God honest trucking truth. From owner-operators, managers, foremans, company owners, owner-operators who drive, flatbed reefers, hot shot trucking, car hauling. I'm going to be interviewing everybody. And we're going to put it out there and let y'all know what the trucking truth is out here. You feel me? So don't forget to like and subscribe. Go over to my other channel. Subscribe to that. And then I'm going to start uploading videos simultaneously and try and give out and put out more information. And just trying to help my peoples out there. Anybody in the trucking game. All right? So yeah, we out.